Research shows us that mental health issues are rising with teenagers, and they are particularly problematic for young men. Often boys find it hard to control or express their emotions, which can lead to problems now and into adulthood. In his new book, Raising Emotionally Strong Boys, family counselor and best-selling author David Thomas offers some ways that parents can help their sons deal with issues like anxiety, anger, and depression. We're so glad to have you back here on Talk of the Town.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I've enjoyed reading this book, Raising Emotionally Strong Boys. Why is it such a hard thing for men, and especially for boys, to express their emotions?
You know, just yesterday in my office, I was sitting with a father who said to me, this man is both a husband, a father, a professional athlete, and he said, David, I grew up my whole life being told two things: don't feel and don't ask for help.
Yeah.
And he said, and those messages have made my life as a husband and father in particular so complicated, so difficult. And I think the majority of males in this day and age grew up with some version of those messages. And I think it makes it really difficult to name and navigate our emotions if we were being taught in that direction.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things you talk about in the book is the 3 R's that emotionally strong boys need to have.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Love to. So they're recognize, regulate, and repair. And recognize is a bit like the dashboard in the car. I use that example for parents to use with boys. If we just want to pay attention when we get signals like the oil is low, the tire is low, those sorts of things, that if we ignore those signs and signals, we could experience some real damage with the vehicle. We could experience some real damage internally as well. And that leads us to regulate. We want to think about how to calm our nervous system when we're in a aroused state. So how to move from chaos to calm or stress to settled. And then repair is talk about how boys can tend to swing between blame and shame. I hear a lot of statements like, it was my sister's fault, or my teacher didn't teach it the right way, or my coach is not giving me enough playing time, or shame statements like, I'm the biggest idiot, or I'm the worst member of this family. And they get stuck in not being able to get to that healthy place of ownership in the middle. And so repair is when boys do that swing from blame to shame, and how to get to ownership.
Yeah. So often, if you ask boys how they feel about something, you hear, I don't know, or I'm fine. How do you get them to articulate and to establish a vocabulary for their emotions?
Yes. I think that's that recognized piece that we begin with helping them develop an expansive emotional vocabulary. Figure out just what do I feel, which again is foreign for a lot of boys. And we have to labor, in my experience, longer in that space. So if we even think about at early pediatric visits, you know, at the 1-year mark, pediatricians are going to be asking parents, how many words is he saying? And we know the science would tell us that girls are often saying twice as many words as boys. So if their general vocabulary is smaller, of course their emotional vocabulary is going to be smaller. So it starts there, but I also think talking around a task is a great way to engage boys. So rather than just sitting eye to eye with him and asking about his day, you know, when you're on a walk with the family dog, if you're building a Lego project together, if he's outside shooting hoops, go outside and retrieve the ball. And boys aren't even aware they're talking in those moments. So I think side to side rather than eye to eye is a better way to have conversation.
Yeah. Your kids are always watching you. And so modeling good emotional behavior as adults is so critical to the way your boys develop, right?
It is. And we know the research would tell us time and time again, kids learn more from observation than information. So when we're sitting around the table together as families, I want to challenge parents to be folding in emotional vocabulary there. So saying things like, you know what, I think I said something today that hurt a friend's feelings. I feel sad about that. I feel embarrassed I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be when I spoke to the board of directors, knowing that that is landing on the boys we love.
Yeah, yeah. Such important work that we need to be doing as families.
Thank you for giving me a chance to talk about it.
I tell you what, this book is going to be such a great resource for you. It's called Raising Emotionally Strong Boys, Tools Your Son Can Build On for Life. There's also a companion workbook called Strong and Smart that your boys can use. Both are available now wherever you buy your books. David, thank you so much.
Thank you.